Hi there, I'm Noelle Randall, real estate entrepreneur, mentor, and mom of 5. And on today's episode, we are talking about how to find investors for flipping. Where do we look? Where are they? That's what we're going to be talking about. So in today's video, I'm going to be giving you the easiest way to find investors, okay? We're not going to make this difficult. There's lots of different places that you can look, and I'm going to tell you the easiest way to find them, active investors that really want deals now. The next thing I'm going to teach you is what to say when you find them, okay? What should you be saying? How should you be approaching them? What do we talk about? I'm going to give you some tips and some hints, and I'm going to tell you what not to say to them as well. Then lastly, we're going to talk about how to set yourself apart from other investors that are approaching investors. So you're an investor, you're new to this, you found them. Now, how do you set yourself apart from other people? We're going to talk about that, and I'm going to give you exactly how to do that. Then lastly, I'm going to give you the secret tip so that you are credible on day one, where you don't even look like you've never spoken to an investor before. So the first thing that you want to do when we are talking about finding investors for flipping is get on your computer. You're gonna need a computer, you're gonna need a laptop, you're gonna need the internet, because I need you to do some searches, okay? You're gonna have to do some searches, and you're gonna have to create a list, okay? So there's some great places to find real estate investors, and the number one place is absolutely free, okay? And that is Craigslist. On Craigslist, you'll be able to find buyers, sellers, and real estate investors. But as of late, because so many real estate investors have been on Craigslist, Craigslist is filled with a lot of real estate investors that are active, that are putting ads out on their properties, and that, marketing properties that they have for wholesale. So that's the first place that you want to go, and it's absolutely free. The second place that you want to go is myhousedeals.com, okay? And I'm going to give you a link below. Again, completely free. You want to set up your profile with My House Deals. There's thousands of investors up there active. I literally know the owner of the company, and I work really closely with them. And so I know that this is the premier place right now for where most of the real estate investors are that are actively investing in real estate. The second thing, and you have to do this, that was actually number one, was the easy thing on the computer. The second thing is you gotta get out of the house. Sorry guys, if you're super introverted or you don't like talking to people and being around people, if that's the case, you're probably not gonna be successful in real estate anyway. Just being honest with you, I love you so much, but you have to meet people. This is really more so about people than it is property. So you gotta get out of your house. You're gonna have to go to Real Estate Investor Association meetings, also known as REIAs, R-E-I-A. They're everywhere. But you want to go to local ones in your area, put on by the real estate professionals in your area. Additionally, again, I said on the computer, but you want to go on Meetup, which is on the computer, and then literally go to the meetings that they have, okay? And everything, we already did the computer thing, and that's great, but you gotta also get out of the house and go out and meet these people, because this is where they are. They're at those conferences, not the training conferences per se, okay? I'm gonna give you a quick little tip there. You're not gonna go to training classes and find like these seasoned investors looking for properties, but the local ones where sometimes they're teaching, themselves are teaching, and they have other vendors there, they have contractors there, electricians, hard money lenders. Those are those meetings and those seminars that you want to go to. Go to where the investors are, and real estate investors that are actively investing in real estate, looking for properties. We go to REIA meetings. Number 3, when we're talking to real estate investors, it's so important. Many people are new to the business. They want to get established, and they want to talk to a real estate investor and send them properties or see what they have. But many of the times you don't know the words. So you really need to practice the terms and the words, okay? And of course, I have videos for you teaching you all of this lingo, all of this jargon, but important terms that you need to know so that you sound credible when you get started. Of course, you need to know the difference between wholesaling and fixing and flipping. Got a video for you. So watch that video, know the difference, because so many times people are intertwining the terms and they're talking about like flipping, but they're talking about flipping a contract. They're not talking about fix and flip. And you really have to know the terms and the lingo if you're talking to someone seasoned, because if we're talking to someone that does not know what they're talking about, we're going to immediately be turned off, okay? The second term which you have to know and understand very well, is ARV, after repair value. If you do not know what an ARV is, again, have a video for you. You need to know what the ARV is, and you need to know how to determine it, which is just looking at other properties that have sold in the area. Again, I have a whole video, won't get into it, but you need to know and understand that's what the ARV is and how you ascertain, how you get that number. If you do not know this information, if you can't figure this out or tell anybody even what this means, you're gonna seem like a fool, and you don't want that. So I just basically told you, and these are the two important things that you really need to know and understand before ever talking to any seasoned investor about flipping. And then lastly, you want to come off credible. So here's some things that you need to avoid, and then I'm gonna give you some help because I get it. I know what it's like to be new. So one of the things you really want to avoid is saying, I'm new. I don't know what I'm doing. I have no idea. I have so many students and new investors that I meet, and I get it. You want to be transparent. You want to tell the truth that you're new to this. But at the same time, focusing on your newness doesn't really offer any benefit to anyone, and it really just takes you down a notch. Additionally, you just don't need to say it. Not saying that you want to lie and say that you flipped all these houses and done all these things. You don't. Please don't do that. But you also don't want to just come off and come off as this fool, this silly person, this person that's not maybe even serious about it, and be taken advantage of. The point that I'm trying to make is just avoid saying that altogether. Do not say those terms. Try to avoid how much experience that you have. If people ask you the question, yes, you can answer very honestly, and you can say, I'm, just checking a few things out. I have a few things. You want to be really vague. In other words, when you're first new, just be very vague. Test out the water, see what the conversation is. But please, please, please don't run around telling everybody you're a newbie. You don't know what you're doing. You don't know where to start. You're just looking for help. That is not it. Okay? So let's talk about what you can do. So here's what you can do. Like I said, I've been there. I have been a new investor. I have made that mistake. Why I'm telling you not to go out and tell everybody that you're new, you don't know what you're doing, and all of your things is because I did that. It did not work out so well for me, and it's just not necessary. So now that I'm more experienced, I actually have my own real estate investor association. It's completely free. You can go look it up on Meetup. It's the Women in Wealth Real Estate Association. Yes, there are men involved. There are plenty of male members and things like that, but it's completely free. If you can look in Meetup, MEETU-up. It's a platform to find like groups. It's a great place, like I said, for you to go as a new investor and start connecting with those investors. And I invite you to please join the group for free. We have 3 chapters: Orlando, Dallas, Fort Worth, DFW, and Houston. You can join any of those even if you're not necessarily in the area. We're adding more chapters, and we love helping newer investors and helping them and providing them the resources that they need so that they can do deals. So that wraps up today's episode, guys. Like I said, I shared so much. I'm getting really excited about the content and the feedback that I'm getting from you guys. So I have another great opportunity for you. If you look below, there's a link to a great opportunity that I have with one of my great friends and mentor. He was an original shark on the hit TV Shark Tank. There's a link below. We are helping people. We're buying hundreds of properties, and people are getting quarterly checks. We're gonna be moving to monthly, and I would like to invite you to come to a free live webinar. There's a link below. Click that, reserve your spot, and come to our calls and get involved with our group. See you next time.